There are lots of ways to make cheap plants from scratch, often using materials you have or can find for free. Let's check these out. 1. Yogurt containers, easy DIY planters. This project involves making small planters from yogurt containers instead of using pots. This is probably the easiest project ever because involves a simple plastic food container that is usually thrown away as soon as it's empty. To make it look special, spray paint it or apply decals on it and let it dry, then simply plant your herbs. When I was a kid, my mom and I made lots of planters like this one. 2. DIY book planters. These homemade book planters look wonderful, and if you want to make some of your own, this is what you'll have to do. Find some old books and cut out a hole. Next, you'll fit a plastic sheet inside to prevent any water and dirt from deteriorating the rest of the book. After that, remove the plants from their original containers and place them into the book. Trim the extra plastic and clean the newly created planter. This is the perfect artistic expression, taking something beautiful and turning it into something else beautiful. 3. Planter from a wooden crate. Due to their generous size, these planters can manage a lot more than a single plant. You can use them to transform your patio into a salad garden or to plant some fresh herbs for your cooking. Nature takes care of most of the hard work, so the only things you'll need to do are fill the planters with fertile soil, make sure that the water can drain. Then, when they grow, you can be proud of your work as well as have a new spot of vegetation on your balcony or patio. 4. DIY modern cement planters. The mixture is 1 part cement and 4 parts sand. To give them the right shape, you can look for old food containers with unusual forms. After filling a larger bowl with the cement mix, place a smaller pot inside, creating a cavity in the sand. An ice cream cup would be perfect. Flip it and let it dry for a couple of days. After that, drill some holes for drainage, sand the edges smooth and plant a succulent in it. 5. Pram planter. A pram planter? Who would have thought? The uniqueness of this planter comes from the contrast of the two elements and how unrelated they are. A pram is meant to transport babies, not to hold plantings. Anyway, this is a success because of the pram's vintage feel and the green shades of color that make the transition to the actual greenery. Let's not forget that this thing has wheels and can be moved around the house where it can become part of the setting. 6. Recycled upside-down planters. You probably never imagined plants growing upside down, but this is not only possible but also looks pretty good. To do this project yourself, a coffee can with a plastic lid would be the perfect candidate. After drilling the drainage holes, flip the can and fill it with some soil and add your plant. Now comes the tricky part, preventing the soil from spilling along with the plant. Trace the bottom of the can on a coffee filter or landscape fabric and cut out the circle. You should also cut out a hole that is the diameter of your plant's main stem. Next, cut a hole in the plastic lid, put it on and flip the planter. Now, you have a cool recycled upside-down planter to decorate your home. 7. Mason jar planter. Inspired by a spice rack, the placement of these planters assures a very interesting decorative element as well as its utility. You won't find any flowers in these jar planters, but instead fresh herbs for natural cooking. Clear your kitchen counter and keep your herbs fresh in the air. It's a great idea we should actually try. 8. Pallet vertical garden. If you have a small terrace and you're almost out of outdoor space to put pots, it's time to think vertically. This unusual planter focuses on growing plants densely on your terrace without taking up a lot of room. You can do this yourself with a simple pallet found near a dumpster or behind a local store. Prepare the pallet by repairing it and adding some landscape fabric to the back. The plants should be the type that cascades so the entire ensemble will look good and healthy. This is a perfect way to enjoy spring on a balcony.